Hi, I'm Cheryl Moody, and this is Shaman Says. I would like to talk to you today about a subject that's very dear to my heart, and that is thought forms. So let's take a closer look at what thought forms are. I'm sure you've heard the saying, what you see is what you be, or thoughts are things, or what you think shows up into your reality. And sometimes we hear that, but I don't know that we actually comprehend what that really means. So today I'd like to share with you my experiences with thought forms and my studies that I have been working on the last several years. And let me tell you, the last 3 years, practicing the thought forms, what I'm thinking, what's happening in my life, and how I've been healing myself through my thoughts. So let's take a closer look. If we really understood that what we think is actually what will show up in our near future, if we really understood that, if we really believed that, then I think we'd be a little bit, I think we'd be a lot more aware of what we're thinking. So let's take a look at this. So let's say you're a co-pilot on a plane, and God, source, the universe, whatever you believe in, is the pilot. If we feel disconnected, if we don't feel connected to the pilot, then we're going to be the one driving the plane. And one person by themselves doesn't have the creativity to create maybe what you need in your future. And sometimes we even have to put it on autopilot because we get distracted or we get distraught with life. But once we realize that we are all connected and that God, the universe, the spirit, is our pilot, and we're co-creating together, we can create whatever future and whatever world we want. And that is the beauty of understanding your thought forms. So what we're thinking constantly, so let's go back there. We can create anything we want. We just don't believe that because we've been programmed by, well, as a little child, by our family, society, and education. And that wasn't really something that I was programmed that I could have anything I wanted if I truly believed in it. That was not in my training, and maybe it was in yours, but probably not. Or you would have everything you want. So when I started really taking a look at this, the saying, what you see is what you be. Then I take a look at thoughts. What is the little voice? You know, that inner voice that's constantly talking to you, that chatter that's constantly going on. We don't necessarily tell our friends and family about that chatter, but that chatter is a constant conversation we have with ourselves. So we need to take a look at, what are we saying? Are we beating ourselves up? Are we constantly saying, I should have? Are we looking at the past? Are we analyzing? Or are we saying, Cheryl, you're beautiful. Cheryl, you are successful. Cheryl, you're doing a great job. Well, that wasn't in my programming, but it is now. Because I've learned the last, say, 2 to 3 years, going through all the changes I've been going through, that truly does work. So I am here to tell you that my life has changed dramatically in the past 3 years because I have been working on that little voice that's talking to me. And I have stopped that little voice from being a bully to now being my teacher, my guide, my friend, and my creator. And how you do that is to pay attention to your thoughts. So when I start thinking something, because sometimes they just come up and people will say, well, how can I change my thoughts? They just come in. Well, you can change them. I know they come in, but you can take a moment and say, pause, and let me analyze this thought. Is this thought something that is going to be beneficial to me? Or is this something that's going to make me feel bad? And that's really how you know if you're on the right track, is your emotions. So when this chatter comes in, this conversation you're having with yourself, if you feel good, then you're on the right track. But if you don't feel good, if you feel sad, or you're analyzing, or you feel depressed, then you know you're not on the right track. And that's the key to stop the habit. Then it may take a little time, but hey, all you got's time, right? I mean, you don't have what you want in your life anyway, so why not take a little time? Massage this new habit, and eventually you'll have everything you want. So how I started doing it is I started pretending that this little voice was just like a little puppet over here on the side, kind of a bully little kid. You know, I call her Sharita. So I'm Cheryl and this is Sharita. And this is the little voice that's always constantly talking to me. And when Sharita starts giving me a hard time, then I will look over and say, I don't want to give too much attention to Sharita because she will really get a lot more power. But I will say, thank you for your opinion. And then I will look the other way and I will start to do what I think is correct. So we need to just calm the bully down. And in psychology, a lot of times they call this self-induced doubt. So consciously you've made a decision and you're feeling pretty good about it. And then all of a sudden you start thinking, oh, what if I can't quit my job because what if I don't have enough money to pay my bills? Or I can't leave this marriage because what if I can't make it on my own? Or, you know, I can't do this. I can't leave my job and get a new house because, oh, what if I can't feed my children? That's the self-induced doubt talk. And so what we can do is we can just say, thank you for your opinion, settle that bully down, and then continue with our positive thoughts. And over time, once you practice this, it will just become second nature. And the next thing you know, you're doing it all the time. What's interesting about that is that even though you weren't really paying attention, your world starts to change. Things start lining up for you. Things start falling into place. And even though the world outside of you is chaotic, there's wars going on, banking systems crashing, maybe the gas prices are going up and down. Don't watch the news because that's where the chaos is at. And as all that's going on, when you start paying attention to your inner self and your inner voice and your thoughts, then the world that you see can be totally different. And that's how you stay calm in the chaos. That's how you really get connected to yourself. Now, as a shaman, a lot of times we work in what we call the three worlds. There's the underworld, the middle world, and the upper world. So if you would imagine maybe a large tree, the tree of life, the underworld would be the roots, the middle world would be the trunk, and the upper world would be the leaves and the branches. In psychology, they would call that the subconscious, the conscious, and the super subconscious. So why do I bring that up? Well, this is what it has to do with thoughts. You're consciously listening to me, and when you're engaging in your life, you're working from a conscious level. So consciously, I'm making a decision. And consciously, I'm on a time frame. And consciously, I have that inner chatter and I go back and forth. But on a subconscious level, the lower level, the subconscious level, is where I was programmed. It's my past. The program that I received when I was born and up through the small child, up to around age 6, you're getting all your programming. So you base a lot of your conscious decisions and your conscious life off of the subconscious programming. So if your programming and your beliefs were not so positive, then your thoughts are not going to be so positive. And that's why your conscious world, your conscious life, is going down the path it's going down. It's not just fate. We just show up and hang out and let the world bring us what it brings us. That's not really how it works. We're in control. It all comes from the inside. You are in control of your own thoughts. And with that, and the connection to spirit, the universe, and God, whatever you believe in, together, you create your world. Isn't that beautiful? Now, the subconscious doesn't have a time frame. It doesn't know time. It also, this is the great part, this is the little secret, it doesn't know the difference between reality and non-reality. So, whatever you're thinking, the subconscious doesn't know if that's real or not real. So when I used to teach public speaking, I would have my students say in front of the mirror their speech hundreds of times. So when they went out into the audience, in front of an audience, instead of being so scared, this was secondhand. Hey, I've done this 500 or 600 times. That's what the subconscious believed, because the subconscious does not know the difference between reality and non-reality. And that's what we're working with our thoughts. To really be able to get to that super conscious level, the abundance and the prosperity and everything we all want, we need to go through the underworld. We can't always, you're not going to get what you want by consciously standing here and praying and begging to the super subconscious, the gods above. Please give me this. Please give me, a new house. Please give me the right job, the right partner. Because that connection doesn't work. We can't communicate this way. How we communicate is through our programming, through our thoughts, and through our emotions. And we go through the underworld, the subconscious. Once you tap into the subconscious and you convince the subconscious of the reality that you want, the subconscious will talk to the super subconscious, and I'm telling you, from then on, it is manna falling from heaven. Your world will begin to start lining up. And as you get in the habit of stopping the bully and starting to really seriously pay attention to your thoughts, your world will be created exactly the way you want. You will have more abundance and prosperity and happiness than you've ever imagined. And I know it sounds simple, and it is, but sometimes it's very hard. So don't beat yourself up. Just take time for yourself. Work on calming the bully down and change your thought process. And if you beat yourself up one day, or you're doing a lot of negative thinking, or you're having a bad day, it's okay. Just start again tomorrow. And I know you can do this because I've been doing this and my life has changed dramatically. And I'm so happy to be able to share this with you because I want you to have as much prosperity and abundance and love that I'm experiencing right now. So I'd really like to thank you for spending time with me at Shaman Says. And be sure you visit our website, soarwithshamans.com. And I'm going to continue to teach these classes via video. So I'd love for you to tune in, because I really think it's important that you're constantly feeding yourself with positive energy, positive information, positive books. Surround yourself with positive people so that you can change your life one thought at a time. Thank you for your time. Namaste.